Hello everyone. Veggie here. So today I'm doing a video to talk about classic hardcore. What is it? What is my experience like with it so far? And what does it really bring to me? So you're gonna see, I'll explain first what's going on in the clip. This is my classic hardcore character, and I'm approaching the Skull Rock, which is full of these burning blade guys, as you'll see in the video. And basically what classic hardcore is it's you can't group with other players. You can't have anyone really help you necessarily. You're on your own, duo. But the main idea of it is when you die, and you have to character. So the other thing is you can't use the auction house and you can't trade with people. So everything in the world is sort of on your back. Now the exception to this is you can do each dungeon. You can do each dungeon one time. You will end up grouping with other players that are playing hardcore. And it adds an extra edge and an extra intensity to the game because if you die, if you misplay, if you find yourself in that bad situation, you know, you pay the ultimate price of you lose all that progress and all. Now on the flip side of that intensity is there's a plus that makes the game feel new and invigorating in a way because it's sort of you're artificially creating a standard difficulty and intensity that isn't necessarily present in the game. Now there is maybe that difficulty with rating Nax, but I mean at this point, everything's on clear for any guild that's decent or above, and everything's on clear. So this is sort of adding another intense element to play the game, at least until Burning Crusade comes out and we get back to that same element of progress. So my experience playing with it is it's not as difficult as you think. I mean, for any sort of seasoned WoW player, you're gonna be able to still pretty successfully do this. Now you do have to be careful. You can't. It's not to the point where you play lazy. You have to play smart, especially when you're in caves, respawns. Um, think about what you're doing and being aware of respawn timers available. Thing is, you can't trade or use the auction house. So the only resources available to you are ones that you happen to find or ones that you find yourself. You can see here I was going alchemy. I've got my lion strength up. Probably should have my armor one up as well, but. So I want to talk about sort of the implications of it. The classic WoW leveling experience is known to be semi-difficult. I mean, even seasoned players are gonna die, not just because the game punishes you very readily if you're not always on your toes, and so sort of hardcore is asking you what it questions the idea of taking your life for granted. So when you do get 60, you do get to you put yourself in the Hall of Legends, and you can die after that. You're sort of immortalized. But I think the real goal is it's just fun. When I ended up losing my character, as you'll see here, I actually get close right here, um, but I wasn't mad. It didn't make me upset. I think it's something you expect to happen at some point. Obviously, you wanna level the character for fruition. You know what I mean? You want to get to level 60. Um, but it becomes I think it almost becomes a low stress thing because it's like you get to have fun and you know what's on the line. It's not like you're gonna be shocked. I mean, I only lost my character at level 12, so it wasn't like the biggest heartbreak, but even still, I mean, playing classic, like, I probably invested a good 4 or 5 hours into this character. And that's a considerable amount of time. So, uh, to lose that progress, it really, the thing is, you would think you'd be upset, but it really makes the value of like when you're playing the game, it makes it feel like it's even like a step up of that. You'll see people here. You'll see people here leaving the game. This on full screen. You'll see people here leaving the guild. I mean, And those are people that have also just died and are deleting their character. The nice thing is there's a community of hardcore players. On Bloodsail Buccaneers, both Alliance. If you're familiar with Kargaz, he was one of the figureheads behind this hardcore movement. But there's a fairly formidable amount of people that are actually doing this challenge. And while the sort of merit of it is asking you to find the hardcore player in yourself, take on the world, there's a lot of tricky things in Classic, and as you'll see here, I'm going for this. There's a level 14 mob in this cave. Now, I'm level 12. Most of these guys are 10 to 12. So they're in my range of being able to pretty easily kill, especially on a Shaman, which is a fairly strong class. I mean, you've got good damage. You've got dots. You've got totems to help increase your damage, increase your survivability. And you can heal yourself. It's really a strong class. As you see, like, I'm pretty well blazing through this. Even these warlocks with 2 mobs. So this guy's level 14, which means he's going to be hitting hard. He's going to be spells, and he has a minion with him. Now, I actually made a mistake earlier. I don't know if you catch it, but this little skull here, my shift 3, that's actually a quest reward you get that does 125 damage to your target and heals you for 125. Now, I got scared on one of the earlier mobs and I used it because I thought I might die, which I really should use the health potion. As you'll see here, it ends up costing me on Gaza's here. And I also make a mistake. So someone else, the other unlucky thing is someone else tagged them, so you see it's grayed out. So because it's grayed out, I have to reset them so I can get credit when I kill them. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but I'm losing time here. And you'll see that ends up gutting me later. So I mean, it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and I used my item that would have made the difference. Now I have the mistake I made also is I should have killed this. I should have killed this minion. I start with blowing him up. Well, that ends up not working out because I could have. If I kill the minion, then I have more options here. Because he's going to stand there and cast on me. We're taking damage from him. So quick realize my mistake. Take 2 shadow bolts, so then I'm at half health. So I'm kind of nervous here. Like, this is a hard pull, and he shadow bolts me again around the corner, which was kind of shitty. So I'm having trouble right now. You know what I mean? And I should have glued him right here around the corner. That was another mistake. But I'm also so low, I didn't want to risk it. You'll see, like, I'm going down. But had I had that item, I could have made the difference. I did stick him right there with the glue, which was good. But it bought me a little bit of time, but not much. So right here, because if I had 125 damage and I saw the mobs are respawning, so I'm like, I better run down in case something respawns on top of me, right? And I actually would have got him had this other orc not. It would have been pretty close, but I barely lived there, and then this other orc aggro's, and boom, done. So I want to encourage you guys to try it. It's pretty fun. This was my first character. I really enjoyed the experience. I like the idea of, it makes it almost more of, an intense RPG. And so I just log out and delete the character. And I wasn't upset. I enjoyed my time. And I actually think I'm going to be leveling another Shaman or another Rogue. And I'll be streaming and recording that. But yeah, that just shows you, how easy and how fast it can go down. But I hope you guys like this video. If you've played a hardcore, let me know. Let me know your experience. Let me know what you think. I will be trying to get farther, and I'm a pretty seasoned player. So what ended up killing me is I took a risk. I didn't need to kill that guy, but I got greedy. Dropped a quest item. So I did know he was going to be tough. I did try to pull him when I was earlier in the cave doing the Thrall quest, and I almost died there too. So I waited a couple levels, but even going back there, it was tough. So now I know, and I haven't played Horde in Classic at all. I've been a strictly Alliance player. A part of it's also learning the quest and knowing which quests are sort of going to be way more challenging, and that's one of those quests where you're in a high respawn area, and it's now I know to not be greedy, and it challenges me as a player to value my life and gameplay more. And let me know what you guys think.